Hey, Heal Squad. Welcome back to part 2 of our conversation with Anthony DiSalvo, California-based acupuncturist who's helped me in so many ways. Thanks to Rebecca Zamolo, our former guest here on Heal Squad, who suggested him, and I have seen such incredible results working with him. And so I was very passionate to bring him here to the Heal Squad. He's giving us live demos of ways to heal anything from vertigo to colic on babies and all kinds of things. So if you guys haven't listened to part 1, go back, listen to part 1. Also, watch both of these videos on YouTube because he actually does live demos of how to heal very specific conditions. So with that, let's jump back into our conversation with Anthony. But what you've taught me is that these are regular points that you need to just be doing throughout the day. You can't just do it once and think it's going to work. You have to maintain it. So it's like you find places instead of like scrolling on your Instagram in that bored moment, let's choose to work on ourselves. Like there's these points along the middle of the arm. I forget, this was like for constipation too, right?
Correct, for digestion and constipation.
And so you go, why don't we teach them this one?
Sure. So that's on the back side of your arm, right? So between your radial and ulnar bone, you have a soft spot of all that muscle. So again, this one for constipation is one whole hand breath from the wrist. And it's right there between the soft spot. Okay. And you massage it. And fortunately, if you don't find the exact point, go up and down. Find what's tender. That's what I love about teaching this is you don't need to be an expert. I just say find the tender spot, give it some love, and don't forget to breathe while you do it, you know? You don't need to hold your breath and stay tense.
Yeah.
And you can even go to the elbow. Yes, elbow is a large intestine point. It's actually for inflammation and heat. It's actually something we do for people and kids for fevers. And you massage up and down. You do the other part too. You can do all your fingers together or one at a time. You can use a tool, like I say a lot of people, if you have a Sharpie pen, at the cap on, you can use it as a pressure point tool. And like you said, anytime you're at the grocery store line, you're waiting for someone, you're watching a Netflix, you're in a meeting. I was doing my points waiting for you guys, and even before the talk, I just said, let's just do some points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also taught me, I think you said if you sliced your leg in half, it would be your arm or something. Remember? Or
Oh,
was there...
these are the mirrors of the body. Yes. So like
Yeah.
what's representative on this arm, this whole arm also is representative on the leg as well. So we have microsystems in Chinese medicine. So it goes all into, like, a lot of people know about auricular acupuncture, and it represents an upside down baby fetus. So all aspects of the body can be found on the ear to influence them, but the same can be for the entire hand. And the same can be for the whole scalp. And the same could be for your whole foot. We can actually treat all sorts of parts of your body from these points. And so I teach acupressure for these aspects. This is something unique to also my mentor's methods, Master Yu, for the Yu family, where we call distal points. So these are furthest away from the problem. So we actually don't touch acupressure points on the area of injury. So we're always, this allows for a stronger stimuli, and the brain doesn't have to compete with two signals at once. Say you have a shoulder injury, doing acupuncture on there, it helps. But when you do acupuncture points on the hand, the leg, or the head for the shoulder, it's a stronger effect because now the brain doesn't have to read signals from the area of trauma on top of stimulation in the area of trauma. Because
Well, and then you have to decipher, right?
well, the brain just is processing like a computer. So it has a certain bandwidth, right, of signaling through its pathways. This one, different pathways, so stronger responses. And this is actually the original way of Chinese medicine, is a lot of distal points. And then we have points all over the body that have developed over the millennia. And so there's just these different tools and methodologies to apply within this medicine.
What about allergies? That's another common issue.
Well, yeah, allergies. It's actually one of the reasons why I got into this medicine. I got rid of my respiratory and environmental allergies and my cat allergy because of acupressure techniques.
I've had cat allergies my whole life. So many people do. So what's
Yeah.
that? Tell us about that one too.
Well, I'm proud to say that we have our beautiful baby Romeo, who's a Russian blue, and then we have an adopted cat that's just a mix, Mawu, and it's been amazing, like being able to have my cats. So one of the things that I learned through my mentor, Dr. Yu, is I had gone through a journey of trying to get care for this, right? Homeopathic, uh, chiropractic work, naturopaths, allergy shots, et cetera, et cetera. And it never really did enough for me. Even moving out of state, it calmed things down, but never went away. I moved out of the country. I was in France for several years. That never went away. Because, a lot of the times you hear that you can leave the environment and you improve. And that happens for a good percentage of people. Mm-hmm. But in my case and many others, it doesn't change anything. So what I came to understand from Dr. Yu, he said, look, your qi is weak, the organs are weak. The lung qi is deficient, lung yin, as we say, things of yin and yang. Also, my spleen and liver also had challenges. And so what he shared with me is like, this can help you. And I said, great. I asked him for treatments and herbs. I was like, when can I get an appointment? He said, no, I'm going to teach you how to fix yourself. And I said, okay, well, what do you mean? He's like, I'm going to show you acupressure protocols, and you need to do them every day. You're going to learn how to do protocols for your lungs to keep stimulating energy to them in blood to help them repair over time. Because this is something I was born with. I was born 2 months premature, in the incubator, grew up with my dairy allergy and my respiratory, allergies. And now I don't have any of them. So with this Chinese medicine is what shifted everything. And it had to do with helping my lungs, helping my spleen organ, helping my liver, and then I also help my kidneys, because you want to help these yin organs in our body. And as a result of it, what he shared, well, as a result is I got over it. And it took about a little over 10 months. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, about over 10 months, 11 months of doing this regularly. I was grateful because I had the discipline of martial arts. I've been practicing since college, so over 20 years. And I was able to apply this principle of doing acupressure from my lung points every day, all these points on my head, my arms, my legs. And I just got into a routine. And once you got into a routine, formed the habit, it was easy to keep up. Some days I did more treatments, some a little less, but I always was consistent throughout the day. And in the way that he explained to me was exactly how it happened. He told me, look, everyone's different. It could take you 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, or a little longer, but just can be consistent with it. And you'll wake up one day and you'll start to go about your day and you'll realize and take a step and go, something's different. And that's what happened to me. I went into the garage. I had to go rummage through some stuff. And as soon as I get into dust, I'm always just like, allergy starts, my nose drips, my eyes water. I got to go take a Flonase or Benadryl and whatnot, because it'll domino into a 3-day allergy problem for me. And that was constant for me always. My daughter called me Papa Achu growing up because I was just always sneezy. Yeah, that was my nickname. Not anymore, thankfully. And after that day, I went into the garage, came into the house, and I took a pause. I was like, oh my God, I'm not sneezing. And I called Dr. Yu right away. I told him. He was really happy to hear. He's like, see, I told you. And I was like, this is great. So I continued to do it because it took away my dust allergy. I bought my wife perfume for Christmas that year because she could never wear it, because I would just get so allergic and have sneezing fits. And so I continued to do it because it didn't fully get rid of the cat allergy. I stopped getting hyperallergic around people in their homes. So I continued that another 6-7 months. And then I think the following year, we ended up getting a cat. I felt confident enough, like, let's do it. And I hug them. I can bury my face in them. I don't have reactions anymore.
What were the points you did for that?
So that's a whole protocol.
Okay.
That's more in depth, and I actually have that in lessons that
Oh,
are
good.
coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, they're coming up in the future because we've been transferring a lot from a previous platform, but yeah, there's a whole protocol, and it's what I love to share with everyone is it's not complicated. It just takes your consistent dedication.
Yeah.
That dedication that you actually are deserving of this, right? You deserve to be able to know how to help yourself and to create change. And it's worth doing it to see how far you can get. Because you don't
Yeah.
know, you can
You never
change.
know unless you try.
Yeah, you can change in shorter periods of time, which happened for one of my clients, a male in their 30s, always having issues, the dogs, the dust, going hiking or whatnot. I showed him these protocols. His change was in 6 months, about.
Of coming to you or of doing the acupressure on his
Well,
own.
all acupressure. I taught him the protocol. He
Yeah.
dedicated to it, shifted everything.
Yeah, I think it does require a little discipline to create that new pattern of behavior so that you can keep up with it, but I've seen how much it works. And then like for example, just doing those constipation points every day opened me up to a place where like I don't have to do it all the time now. Now there's a flow. Like it's working on its own, but sometimes you have to help yourself along.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing that I love about what I do is teaching everyone how to help themselves more. I teach this to nurses at Kaiser Hospital and the Nurses Union in California, self-care protocols for them, you know, so that they can function better and take care of themselves and their family and their patients. And they get to take it with them every day, right? You don't have to depend on as much on outside things. Now, it doesn't mean that outside care is irrelevant, because the integration of all your medical care is really important, right? I believe in that. So this practice of acupressure is very complementary with literally everything that you can go through as your other care, whether you're on medicines, you recover from surgery, you're in the hospital. You can have a loved one give you acupressure. You can you're in recovery, you can get acupressure. You can do this for your child. Like I did this for my daughter every night for story time. Do her
Yeah.
points.
No, I remember after I woke up from brain surgery and I was seeing double and triple and my eyes were fluttering. My friend who's an osteopath came and she did the brain points on my feet and it went away instantly. And they were like,
I
this could
love that.
be days, it could be months, it could be years, it could never go away. I started in my mind designing an eye patch and a whole alter ego for myself because I was like, okay, if this is what it's going to be, I'm going to look cool doing it. But she got rid of it instantly by pushing those points. There's one other thing for constipation that you shared with me, and that was hot water. Will you explain that to people?
Yeah, absolutely. Drinking hot water as a medicinal use has been in Chinese culture for a long time. One, it was for sanitation reasons, right? Because of bacteria and getting sick. So boiling the water and then, but to drink it, but that's the kind of origin of it. And then hot water, though, is because there's a lot of pathologies in Chinese medicine that are considered cold in their root issues. And hot water, as a thermal change, is the opposite of cold. But it's also very neutral energetically. It's completely neutral. It's not spicy, aromatic, bitter, etc. That has other functions and effects in the body. So as a neutral effect and its thermal temperature, it warms the interior. And a lot of times constipation is due to cold damage, we say, in the intestines. The spleen is cold, so the transformation and transportation function of these organs is slowed down, or it's tense. So hot water, I love to say, is like a jacuzzi for your insides. It
Hmm.
relaxes you like you would in a jacuzzi. Heat, just like in athletics, we warm up to loosen our muscles. Your GI system is made of smooth muscle. It responds to temperature in the same way. It relaxes. And when the muscle lining relaxes, that opens up more blood flow opportunity. And then it's able to help with peristalsis as well, which is what moves things along for you to go. So there's many factors for why someone may have constipation, but when you can help someone with helping them relax, also because it helps calm the body, because it's a relaxant in a way, and then it helps moisten the intestines, you're already dealing with two major categories for constipation issues. And so it's something you're able to have with your meals. You have hot water to prep your stomach so that it's relaxed when you start to eat your meal. You have cups of hot water while you have your meal and when you finish. So very helpful for these aspects, as well as acid reflux, oddly enough.
It helps with that.
It helps with reflux and heartburn because it helps to relax the muscles in the stomach that are under a lot of strain, overproducing acid, right?
Mm.
And so I actually have a lot of nurses who come to me after I do like continuing education talks, and they come up to me after and say, Anthony, I did the hot water. It was like a month and I got rid of my chronic heartburn. 3 months, I don't have to take my meds anymore,
That's
and they've been
amazing.
dealing with it for years.
Does that mean that ice drinks is not good for us?
Ice has its purpose. It's enjoyable. And it's also something that causes an effect. So I won't say anything is bad or good because that is subjective to different things, right? Ice creates constricture. It also cools the body when necessary, right? But ice creates cold, and that can create tightness in the muscles. So chronic use of ice cold beverages and drinks, it's frowned upon in Chinese medicine, but it's not like an evil thing, right?
Yeah, I looked at it as like an evil thing for so long. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
can't do it, can't do it. And every time I saw someone with an ice cube, I'm like, oh no, they don't know, they can't
Right.
do that.
And it's like you can't have kids do that because they're so hot inside. They need something to kind of regulate, but it's also not something that it has its effects, cause and effect over time. It's also a sign that you have cold in you. Like I was a big lover of ice and chewing ice and finding different ice machines that had different shapes for them. I loved it, and cold drinks. But I had a cold spleen, a weak spleen. I had digestive issues and chronic digestive issues. So this was a sign that things were out of balance.
When you're
So
craving ice.
yeah, when you're craving ice and also sweet things, sweet things.
Interesting.
So it's just a matter of living in balance. So what's right for your system may not be right for someone else's system.
Yeah.
What aggravates one person may not aggravate another. And so that's something with any of my patients is I share, this is such an individualized form of medicine. What's going on for you? And I need to help you with what is occurring. And here are the recommendations of food that might help you. Here's the herbal medicine that might help your system. If you have like heartburn, it might be a different formula for someone else who has heartburn, or SIBO, when you have small intestine bacterial overgrowth. One formula for some other person works for them because of their presentation, but a different formula is required for someone else.
How does acupuncture help with women's health? I remember you talking about UTIs, but obviously I remember using it a little bit with fertility struggles. Can you share a little on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Women's health is greatly supported by Chinese medicine, both with acupuncture and with herbal medicine. It's a very strong part of the medicine because it was such an important thing way back in the day to help with generational health, women with conception, support during gestation, birth, postpartum care, and then recovery so they can be healthy to have healthy children again. Ooh, excuse me.
Okay.
Healthy children again, and then, repeat, and then also be well after having multiple children. So this was a very core foundation of time and attention in the medicine. And so today, fast forward, there's a lot of support for it. So I do help a lot of women with fertility, also very complex fertility challenges, multiple IVF failures, egg quality challenges, and then even natural fertility support, because the herbal medicine is very supportive in that, in helping women with estrogen issues, testosterone issues, progesterone issues, and even egg quality development. That's actually a very strong suit in Chinese medicine, is supporting women who go to IVF who need improved egg quality, because they can help with egg quantity with the Western side of things, but egg quality is still a challenge. we've always had that supported in Chinese medicine. So this is where success rates can improve a lot. And so I've helped a lot of women in this respect, as well as then through gestation, you know, helping complications of pregnancy, such as having issues with nausea and vomiting, right? Cyclical vomiting, and that's actually very treatable in Chinese medicine with acupuncture. You can stop a lot of the cyclical vomiting that people can have in 1 to 2, 3 treatments, and because that can create a lot of threatening miscarriage scenarios. Also, like pains and just stress is very important to regulate during gestation, you know. And so, not just there is I also help after postpartum care. So this is the totality of Chinese medicine: help postpartum recovery, help with getting your feeling back in your legs, help with milk letdown, help with mastitis, help with just recovery, and then of course help with the babies. So that's like kind of a broad picture of the support that's out there. And people, I think, is just go and inquire with the local acupuncturist to see if they have experience in that area, because these are different specialties and training, and you should be able to find someone.
So
Don't be afraid
here's a
to ask
question.
questions.
That's one thing that I wanted to ask is like, I know that I've done acupuncture with a few different people. I tried, I didn't feel anything. So that's why I was so passionate and excited about you was I felt something instantly. Like I saw results right away. What do you say to somebody who's like, I've been going and I'm not feeling anything?
Well, we all have different training and skill levels, right? And so my training has its unique skill sets and whatnot. And there are a lot of very talented practitioners out there. So if you're not feeling anything, you need to look at, is this the right protocol to continue with? You have a conversation with the practitioner. If it's still not feeling right, find someone else. Like that's like any doctor, right? If you're not feeling things, if you're not noticing changes, then find another person. It's not that anything's bad or whatnot. You need to find what's right for you, and what one person sees, someone else may not, right? And so it's just don't give up and continue seeking out the care that your body needs, because we do still have a standard of like, we know after so many treatments, there should be a response. We know after so many months, like really strong changes, like internal stuff has certain changes. And we have these expectations that we're taught. So if those aren't being met, I need to inform my patient about that. I need to see, well, what else is going on? Because the body is complex. But we do know that there are changes that happen at different stages. If things aren't happening after 3, 6 months, you need to be possibly finding another opinion.
Yeah,
Advocating for your health. It's so important in any medicine, holistic or Western, right?
absolutely. I forgot to get the pressure point on the UTIs for people.
Oh, right. So the pressure point on the UTI. So we have a course for that. So I have a lot of women with this because it can be reoccurring, and most of them are on the lower ankles.
Oh,
Something I wouldn't be able to demonstrate here, but
you can't get your
yeah.
ankle up above your head?
So what happens is UTI infections, lots of different reasons for them, but acupressure and hot water are the prescription, we say, for in Chinese medicine for helping UTIs. We also have certain herbs for certain stronger infections, right? But a good majority of UTIs can be calmed down and stopped with acupressure and hot water. Interestingly enough, it's usually an opportunistic bacteria that develops. So you just need to help your body overcome it. What's interesting is it also helps with people who have bacteria, like antibiotic resistant strains of UTI infections, or they're kind of cycling between one antibiotic to another, goes away, kind of comes back, goes away, comes back. These are very helpful in kind of breaking that cycle with acupressure protocols. And for sure, these are sensitive points. When you first start out, it's always helpful if your partner is able to support you, but you could still do it yourself, and you can create the change. Be
Oh, wait,
consistent with
I'm
it.
remembering because you were touching my kidney points once and I wanted to die. It hurt so bad.
Yes, I
I
know.
did take some videos when Anthony was working on me that I'm going to share on my Instagram for you guys so that you can see us in action. But that was very, very painful. The other thing you talk about is like sour foods to help with periods. What
Oh
does
yeah,
sour food do?
so it's a component. It doesn't fully help with periods, but one of the understandings is, oh, sorry, one second. Excuse me. Apologize. One of the understandings about sour, the flavor in Chinese medicine, is it actually builds yin, and blood is a yin substance. So sour foods, sour herbs, and formulas help with building blood.
Oh,
That's
so I need more yin.
and it's body fluids. So because blood and body fluids are considered yin substances, yin and yang substances. Yang substance is qi, energy, just to compare. So you can crave sometimes sour foods because of that, because it's a sign that you need more body fluids or you need a little bit more blood. Just
What's
a
a
sign,
sour food?
sour, fermented foods.
Okay.
Uh, and so basically you
Not Sour
can
Patch Kids. I
right.
used to eat an abundance of those a long time ago.
I know, right? Good old days. But sour is still there as that aspect of things. And just in the same way someone craves like a hamburger when they're on their period or a steak, right? They need to replenish blood, these
Mm,
kind of things. Or they want spinach if they're vegetarian or vegan, they need spinach, they need those non the non-heme iron sources in vegetables.
interesting.
Yeah.
So if you need more yin, what are you supposed to do?
Well, that's something you need to replenish with your foods, and also we have Chinese herbs for this. So,
Interesting. Well, maybe that's what we get to deal with next for the
well,
anemia.
well, here's the thing. We also have our stages in life, right? You are in your yin waning stage of life, just like me, right? We all go through these yang stages of growth and development, and then we steady and plateau, and then we enter another stage where we're slowly in natural decline, right? Yin is slowly going away. Estrogen, people in menopause, it will change, and that's a loss of the yin. We have herbs to support this. And it's not to stop the process. We're honoring the natural process of our bodies, but we assist its transition so it's more harmonious. So it's
Mm,
an easier transition. So you have
okay.
less symptomatic issues. That's the
I
understanding behind it.
I like that because you can't solve everything. Nature is going to have its way. We are going to
Right.
age, things are going to happen, but harmony is a beautiful thing to have. So, Anthony, I know that you have some courses because I know one of them talks about pediatric acupressure points for like pink eye and things like that. Where can people find the courses and what is currently available so people know?
Well, sure. So currently we have, it's going to be online. We ask people just if they can either follow me on Instagram at TLC Holistic Life, because we're about to launch it. We had it on another platform, the whole
Hmm.
tech stuff transitioning. It's always an interesting process. So, but they'll be on online, and there'll be courses for a lot of acupressure for parents to help their children, colds and flu protocols, right? That deal with like the runny nose and sore throat and digestive issues and tummy aches and fevers. Those are very helpful for these viral activities. Whether you're taking medicine or not, whether you're waiting for hospital care or not, you can actually start implementing them and start supporting your child's system. And what's wonderful about children, they respond quickly because they're so brand new, right? The
Hmm.
system is abundant and changing and healing constantly. You support that. So we actually see faster results in kids than adults. Interesting.
Wow.
The others is like colic and constipation. Very helpful effects. Every parent I share this with, they're always amazed at how quickly it works. You know, uh, a lot of the times parents have to find like chiropractors to specialize this to do adjustments, but it can take 6 or 8 treatments. You can help your child in just like an hour with a lot of this. It's that quick.
I
Sometimes
love
it's
it.
more complicated and you need to continue it because not everyone's the same, but you're persistent with it, you see changes. Like formula fed moms that I've helped who are formula feeding, their child drinks so much of it, it creates a lot of constipation and they can't go. These acupressure massaging helps them. Like one parent, it just took a day. And they're like, it's finally going. And then I say, please continue. And then they're able to have regular bowel movements again.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The other thing we have is for pink eye care. Yes, you can treat pink eye with acupressure, whether you have antibiotics or not, or whether your child's young enough and you have breast milk, which is the ultimate like resolution for pink eye. But acupressure on points that are on the hands, that are on the legs. And I actually have a course where I documented my daughter's pink eye treatment. So actual live case of helping her through it. And, it really just resolved in a day.
That's incredible. I think it's so powerful to know that there are things out there like this. And I feel like acupuncture has almost kind of been almost like a forgotten magical healing thing. Like I know for me, I've seen so much about red light and infrared and all these other things. And acupuncture has been tried and tested for so many years. And I've seen the results firsthand, which is why I wanted you here. So Anthony, thank you for being with the Heal Squad today.
I'm happy to support everyone and in learning these empowering tools, because that's so important. You guys deserve it, and it's just a wonderful thing to have.
A special thank you, of course, to Anthony for joining the Heal Squad today. And friends, if you love these episodes, please share them with a friend who might need them. We also will share more about Anthony's courses and his work in the show notes below. Until next time, friends, be nice people, do your points, make good choices, and be present. Hey, Heal Squad. We have been on quite the journey together, and we're hearing from so many of you just how much this show is helping you heal and get better, and it makes us feel so good. We love, love, love it, and we just ask that you don't keep it to yourself. Spread the message and share the show or your favorite episode with your friends. And if you want to help us even more, you can leave us a 5-star rating and a comment on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and follow us on Instagram at Heal Squad. You can also DM us anytime because we love connecting with you. And finally, you can also join us on Patreon for our monthly live heal events with world-class healers and ad-free episodes exclusive only to Patreon and our Super Heal Squad for as little as $10 a month. So go to patreon.com/Heal Squad to join. Getting better isn't easy, friends, but as I say all the time, it's a whole lot easier if we can do it together. We love you all so much, and we love doing this thing called life with you.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or mariamenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.